Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great, great world. We're going to talk about XRP. Now, I thought I'd share this with you first. So, four artificial intelligent robots killed 29 scientists at a lab in Japan. Now, this supposedly happened back in 2017. But I couldn't find any credible information to back this up. But I thought I'd share it because we're headed into the fourth industrial revolution. Robots are talked about more and more all the time now. But this isn't even what's scary. This is George Soros poured $126 million to Democrats for the 2022 midterms. That makes him the largest donor of this cycle. And it's not even close. But we can't talk about it. Now, why is this guy still trying to buy our elections here in the US? This guy is one of the most evil people in the world. He's up there with Klaus Schwab. And the thing is, he's trying to keep the agenda going. The Great Reset. That's why the Democrats need to win this election. The U.S. diesel shortage is worsening. Reports of an impending diesel shortage could potentially lead to truckers running out of fuel, ultimately stranding shipments and hiking consumer prices. But some people don't believe this is even happening. This is misleading. The U.S. only has a diesel shortage of 25 days if we stop importing and refining, which isn't the case. But yet, we see this. I took this picture on 11/1/2022 in eastern Tennessee. So, until further notice, do not use the diesel pump unless it is an emergency or you are unable to find diesel at another gas station. A shortage of diesel fuel is a concern in our country, and we need to try to keep our tanks as full as possible for the upcoming winter operations and emergencies. Now, why would you see that if this wasn't really happening? And why are they tapping into the strategic reserves to keep the gas prices down leading into the midterms? It would be far more worse situation than that. Trucks, trains, buses, fire department equipment, backup generators, farming equipment, even waste collection and utility vehicles all stopping. That's how bad this shortage actually is. Think about it like that. They downplay it in the news media. Oh, we're just in a shortage. Biden's tapping into the strategic reserves. It's just words. But when you realize exactly what that means, it's much bigger. Thriving economy, the car market is collapsing. And we're seeing more and more repos. I just talked to a guy who owns a car dealership about putting in his security system. He told me they did more repos within the past month than they've done throughout the rest of the year. That's where we are right now. NBC Poll. 81% of Americans say they're dissatisfied with the state of the economy. This is the second highest number we've ever recorded. The last time it was this high was just before the 2010 election. And people are starting to understand that inflation is out of control. They're finding it very hard to make ends meet in this country. And it's not only here in the U.S., it's throughout the rest of the world as well. And they're not even trying to fix it because this is also a man-made crisis. All of it is. The diesel shortage, the energy crisis we're about to go into, all man-made. This chart shows how much housing prices have declined in 60 markets. Take a look to find out what to expect in your area. Now we see here, this is how home prices are falling. But yet realtors are still out there trying to get people into these houses. We're in crypto. We know better. We're going to buy the bottom if we buy a house. But people that don't know any better are still buying houses at all-time high prices. But now the prices are starting to fall. We're headed into a housing crisis. Wait and see. Most likely early next year it will start. How do we know we are in a recession? Because layoffs are happening, people's debt is increasing, housing market slowing substantially, interest rates increasing, Wells Fargo bracing for layoffs as U.S. loan volumes collapse. One small example of recession. And they always like to say, well, how do you know you're in a recession? Well, if you look around, most people are smart enough to see what's going on. We invest in crypto because we know at some point it's going to improve our lives. It's going to give us that financial freedom in the future to avoid situations like what's going on right now. Now, Dan Penna, if you don't know him, he's the guy he's the $1 trillion man. He's always talking about Bitcoin going to zero. So he says, I wouldn't be surprised to see the UK pound and the US dollar near parity. I've said the US is still the currency of choice, haven of safety. The last time I said this was August of 1984. It was $1.50 to a dollar. 6 months later, it was $1 to $1.05. Recall, I called negative oil, the black swan, and the crypto crash. He's called a lot of things, and he was pretty spot on a few times. But I've seen a lot of people mention this now, that they have to peg the UK pound and the US dollar so that they could easily roll out a CBDC. And I know at some point the US dollar is going to start plummeting. We see what's going on with BRICS backing their digital currency by gold, trying to cut off the US dollar. The launch of a CBDC may destroy Bitcoin, Arthur Hayes. Now, because we're in XRP and we're XRP holders, we know when a CBDC comes, all the utility cryptos will be tied into that system. XLM, XRP, XDC, IOTA, Algo, most likely HBAR, Casper, DAG, a few others. It's all utility based. Bitcoin has no utility. At some point, it won't be relative. And they're not going to bring out an alternative society that runs on Bitcoin. I'm going to say that again because these Bitcoin maxis are still telling people you need to buy Bitcoin to avoid a CBDC. And naive people will fall for that. It's not going to work. My bet is one morning we will wake up to the news that our bank accounts have been converted into USD CBDC. They won't have to engage in the drama of bail-ins or other skimming, as they will have the power to do so at any time, can immediately begin expiration, etc. Now, a lot of people think that flip of the switch moment's going to happen sometime in the middle of the night. You're going to go to sleep, you're going to have money in the bank, you're going to wake up the next day, and all of a sudden, we're under a CBDC. And that could very well happen. But I think things are going to get far worse before that even comes about. I think first we're going to see an energy crisis after the midterms, followed by a housing crisis, then a liquidity crisis. As that's going on, we're going to see the current system start falling apart even more. The current financial system will start crashing out. That's when they're going to want to usher in a CBDC and a new financial system. Government, they're coming for your money. We are about to abandon traditional system of money. The last denomination of $100 notes has been issued, and Rosie Rios has said the train has left the station. So it looks like the last $100 bill that you see, that's it for the $100 bill. Kind of like what we've seen going on over in the UK that I've been talking about, I believe, since August. Over 100 countries exploring own digital currencies. Now, the US has to keep up with the rest of the world because 100 countries are about to go fully digital. They're already way ahead as far as innovation. But I think the US has secretly been working behind the scenes. I think it's all planned out. We're just watching the movie play out in real time, in the real world. And at some point, we know a CBDC is absolutely coming. As XRP holders, it's not going to make us sell our XRP. Like we see on crypto Twitter, people going around saying, sell those ISO coins now. Otherwise, you're going to be helping to enslave the world. But the thing is, we're getting those CBDCs one way or another. I've said it time and time again. And if you're new to crypto and you invest in XRP, hold on because your XRP is about to skyrocket in price. So with that said, I'm going to wrap up today's video. All we could do at this moment is just sit back and be patient. I appreciate all of you watching my videos. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.